Hi Metal Wanderers, this is Markus Ganzerlich, editor of rockmetalbands.com and Rock Metal Bands YouTube channel. Today I'm here to review the album by Obscurum Malum titled Oscuro Smembramento. This third album by this ritual, dark ambient, black metal influenced one-man band from Avellino, Italy, was born of a moment of inspiration when Lord Yshua was under a fallen nut tree with the intention of playing without limits. The album was not pre-produced, there was no preparation. A flow got opened and he recorded his performance. With regards to the package version, let me tell you that the version in my hands is one of the few physical ones available, besides the usual ones on digital platforms. It is made of a handmade cardboard digipack containing a booklet and 3 demo CDs. Please note that there are only 10 physical copies available, and each of them contains a different cardboard artwork, so as to stress out how this artist works. Only when the inspiration comes, only when he feels it right, musically, lyrically, and in this case also visually. On the visual aspect front, we notice that the artwork was realized by Valeria Campagnale, while the cardboard artwork was made by Lord Yshua himself, Marco Mainiero. And it is really noteworthy what a significant drive he had and all the time and energy he invested in producing these limited handmade copies of this demo album. The front cover of the digipack shows a snake and 3 moons, one of which is a bigger snake eye, all drawn in white and black pencil, with 3 red sealing wax spots, like the ones notaries or diplomats usually used in the past, were added on. The drawing also contains orange and green spots, and it was cut and glued to the cardboard, sporting a violet background, which black tempera was placed on later. The inside recurs to red and orange again on a violet background. At the center we see Dea Serpenta, goddess snake, in a black and white drawing cut in 4 parts, glued back in a wrong order intentionally. In the distance we can distinguish a medieval castle and a small village too. On the 3rd page of the digipack we find a photo in black and white of the image of an Osco-Umbrian ancient statue. Next to that are a few lines in Abruzzese dialect which say an invocation to goddess Yshua. These lines were once sung by children, forming a circle during a game to avert a storm. The 4th page displays a different statue on a blurred background, holding 2 snakes in its hands. Inside the digipack we have the 3 CDs and booklets, and they are all in transparent plastic containers. As to the ones of Oscuro Smembramento, the first page has an artwork in black and white closer to the style of several black metal acts. There appear 3 women wearing makeup, of which the first is a zombie wearing a pagan jewel on her forehead. The woman in the middle wears a crown and looks like a demon, whereas the third is the only human-looking one. There's a few trivia to cite. Number 1. Obscurum Malum means dark evil in Latin. Number 2. The band was put on hold in 2009 and reformed in 2019 when the inspiration came back. Number 3. This demo album will be the last album that Obscurum Malum will ever release. Number 4. Unlike most metalheads, Obscurum Malum's only member stated that he started listening to black metal only. Only later did he approach more melodic metal subgenres. Now to the lyrical content. The theme described in this concept album is shamanic dismemberment, that is, the rebuilding of one's own psyche after its destruction. The same concept was analyzed in Dea Serpenta and Bosco Oscuro, which are the other two chapters of this trilogy. The album tells of a sorceress that enters a labyrinth and later on a cave, lured by Dea Serpenta, goddess snake's voice. She goes through a journey, then she will come out pure after meeting Yshua and Lilith and greeting goddess snake in the end. Some words on the engineering and sound quality. The album was recorded live, ad-libbing lyrics and instrumental parts, and only a few parts were overdubbed later on. It is, however, interesting to note that it sounds surprisingly crystal clear. Only the opener, Disperazione, was written by a friend, Nefesh. The three acoustic tracks were recorded by the river Cervaro at 6 a.m. so as to maintain the naturalness of the music as much as possible, and in order to make it sound as distant as possible from a product made at the computer. And I have to say, he's made it. He's nailed it completely. The percussions on this album may have a shamanic or a tribal vibe, because chains, wooden sticks and chicken bones were used during the playing. Also, the guitar is intentionally low and distant, so as to make the voice louder and clearer, and therefore have the words more discernible. My musical analysis starts with Disperazione, which is almost 18 minutes long. It consists in tribal drums, penetrating keys, distant vocals and wind chimes. The vocals are trembling and evoking, so that sometimes it feels like being surrounded by teepees. A soaring guitar riff grows and takes its place as foundation for this composition, which is then made heavier by zombie-like and guttural vocals, mixed together to hypnotize the listener. A dark, obsessive masterpiece. The title track is a 15-minute-and-a-half trip, opened by a gloomy, slow black metal riff. Laments from another dimension, separated by bass lines and percussion strokes, follow. Other monstrous vocals and some lines of a second guitar enter. Then some spoken words, similar to a prayer, appear together with the guitar riff. The bone percussions arrive, and there are even some cymbal hits later on. This song is not only beautiful, it is also cursed. My notebook got frozen multiple times when I played it, and no reboot worked until it was over. Mediocervarum is a short arpeggiated composition which connects us with nature, thanks to the river flow and evocatory folk singing. Another long number, Albero Insanguinato, blends the elements that we have already listened to in the previous long numbers. The black metal riff, the lugubrious keyboard, the skeleton percussion and the otherworldly throat emissions all have one goal: to make us feel uneasy and keep us in an alarmed state like cats. However, the singing varies from growl to Tibetan and Mongolian throat singing with false chords, from howling to declamatory clean singing and even whispers. And it's just when the whispers are there that the keyboards enter and sound so chilling. And they are also paired by bass lines that remind us of the best 70s horror movie soundtracks. In conclusion, these tunes are a massive sledge of inhuman tonal weight and darkly hopeless ambience. Oscuro Smembramento is an exquisite lot of songs for open-minded metalheads. Few will understand it and few will appreciate it, but those who will, they will adore it. Read the full review at the website link shown below. Like, subscribe and comment. See you on the next video review chapter.